Hi everyone, Skillshot 99 Gaming. This is Played It Live, the Crypt. We got Arc, we got VOX, and I got to tell you, this one could be the real deal. I have not been this excited about a regular season match in a long time. Now, sometimes when these matches have a lot of hype and a lot of buzz, they don't live up to expectations. We're going to find out tonight because the last one, look, admittedly, the VOX was traveling to Arc. It ended with some controversy both ways. Rulings and challenges and all those things. So sometimes you have matches have a little controversy. But tonight, and I think VOX has marked this on their calendar, Arc is coming to VOX's hometown. So is VOX ready for the fight? Are they ready to take the champions on in their own backyard? Or is Arc going to come in and continue that amazing hot streak that they got going on right now? So I think VOX is up for the challenge. I think Arc is up for the challenge. So we're going to have a very, very good one in store for all of y'all tonight. Before we get too far into tonight's stream, I do want to give a super chat shout out. We got Valar in the house. Hello, 999 Army, Great Mods, channel members, sponsors, PDO Auction House. We do the Auction House. We do Death Drop. We do Fish Strikes. We got a lot of things going on. And I am looking forward to it. I am looking forward to every event that we do. Are you guys psyched? Are you guys ready to have a good time tonight? If you are, give me some 999s. I see a lot of listening and not a lot of typing. Let's light that scoreboard up really quick. So let me show you a little bit of what we got going on and why this match is so important. We got Team Arc coming in at 4-0. Now, the point differential is not huge. I mean, in 4 games, 1,400 point differential. They're not winning by a lot, but they are winning. Look at Team VOX. Team VOX is 3-1, but their point differential is 2,200. So VOX, pretty good margin. If VOX wins tonight, they are in first place. So that's why this game is so important. You can see next week we've got Arc traveling to Sly on Monday. So Arc, 2 tough road games back to back. They go to VOX and they go to Sly. And then next Wednesday, we got VOX at home against Mir. So VOX the opposite, 2 home games in a row. So I'm really, really looking forward to it. Now, we do have a couple things that we're going to do tonight. We're not doing the money tree spin because we didn't do inventory this week and we didn't have any kills token deductions from your account. So you haven't paid for the money tree spin, so we're not doing one. First thing we are going to do is what is called the sliver spin. All right, now this is important because this has to do with your sliver sacrifice. So if you got a sliver sacrifice plan, sometimes that goes out the window if it's a wild grenade that you don't have a lot of. Now remember, once I spin it, you can trade and send those to people in your faction to make sure you do have them. So you got about 7 minutes to do that. So here we go. Spin that wheel, and we'll see what tonight's sacrifice is going to be, and it is going to be... Oh, I wanted Unforgiven, but you know what? It's Bunko. Now, I told you guys a couple weeks ago we put Bunko up on the shop. I said, make sure you're picking those up because you never know which one of these grenades, or Sad Grenade, Spade Grenade, Milo, all these are on the wheel. But tonight it is Bunko. Now, I do know there's a few more Bunko in circulation, but that's the cool thing about the wheel. You don't know how long they'll be in circulation. So, Ron, before we do the Super Bomber Bundle, which is incredible, by the way, Ron, if we're not doing the money tree, what time is it, Father Ron? Because we like to give away a pack or two for future box events, especially with the new box event. Did y'all hear? There's supposed to be a box event this Saturday. We will keep you posted on Saturday night to let you know if we are going to carry through with that. Fish Bingo could be an option. We will either do a box event or Fish Bingo coming up. So here we go. It is roll time, baby. So we're going to spin that wheel. Everybody here, all 4 teams. If you're here right now, give me a number in chat. We're going to give away 2 packs. Giving away 2 packs, not to the same person. 1 pack to 2 different people. All right, you got another 5 seconds to get your number in there. I mean, you better do it quick. Get that number in there. I don't care if you're Mirror. I don't care if you're Slide. I don't care if you're Arc. I don't care if you're VOX. Get those numbers in there right now. All right, here we go. Spin number 1. is number 16. Do we have number 16? I know somebody that usually picks number 16 that didn't. What are you thinking? What are you thinking, Jim? Threw a number 4 up there tonight. What are you thinking? All right, let's spin it a wheel. Let's spin it one more time. All right, number 18. No, number 18. Dang, all these numbers not coming up. Spin it again. Number 19. All right, looks like we got Cat, pack number 1. Let's spin it one more time. Number 4, there she. All right, there you go. All right, that's redemption. That's not bad. All right, Jim squeaked out. She didn't win the first time, but she got the win with the reroll. So I guess that's justice is served. All right, good job, everybody. All right, gave away 2 packs, 1 to Cat, 1 to Jim. Congratulations. Upcoming box event. It's very possible that we will do a box event on Saturday, but again, I'll let you guys know. If not, we'll definitely do a Play Dead Live event. So hold tight with that. I know you guys want to do that box event to catch up, but we're getting back on track. All right, now, if y'all do not have tonight's box event, you might want to message Kel, because there's going to be some cool stuff in this one. So here you go. Super Bomber Bundle right now. Take it from the top. Look at this. We've got 20 Grizzly grenades. Why we do so many Grizzly? Because Quest is back, and that is a great grenade to use in Quest. The second row, Deadly Dimes will be entering these for y'all tomorrow. That's 2 Rapture, 2 Oracle, 2 Lithium, 2 Seismic, 2 Vapor, 2 Snowstorm, 2 Gen, 2 Red Eye, 2 Top Hat, and 2 Whammo Extreme. Take you down to the bottom row. Are those doubles too? Yes, they are. That's 2 Unicorns, 2 Grinch, 2 Glitch, 2 Milos, 2 Maximons, 2 Unforgiven, 2 Trex Grenade. We've seen more of those played. Summoning, 2 of those. 2 Spade Grenade, strongest grenade in the game, and 2 Sweet Teas. And up top, that's 400 Loader Grenades. Now, if you bought one of these all by yourself, you didn't split it with anybody, you get one of each of the following. And these have never been in a couple of these have never been in a Super Bomber, and they may not be again. So here you go. That is the Sad Grenade, we know has been there. The Grub, but check it out. Linkage Grenade. We've only seen it in a box event. The last box event, it was a brand new grenade. And the Cygnus Grenade. What do they do? Well, Cygnus, unbelievable. If you hit a player in the DZ, or they don't have to be in a DZ any longer. If you hit that player and they have a halo, it'll remove it from them. And Linkage Grenade. Oh, my goodness. If that hits a boss or a Kang, it adds points. Oh, I'm sorry. If it hits a boss or a Kang, it'll remove one of the halos from the other team's sliver. Now, if you split this with somebody else, you only get to pick 2 of those, and the other person has to pick the other 2. It's just those 4. So if you split it, you need to figure out who's getting which 2 and who's getting the other 2. All right? Make sure you message Kel. If you got the whole thing, you don't have to worry about it, because you get 1 of each of those in the middle. If you split it, you get 2, and then the other person gets 2. All right, Kel, light it up. We need to see who got these, because people do some planning. I know you trade them as well, but let's see it right now. And also, while you're doing that, if you are Pope, Valar, Julia, Jim, Ron, Crimson, or Cat, give me your pre-match buffs. And we do have Zombie Deacon playing tonight for Team VOX. We got Zombie Deacon making a debut. No buffs needed there. All right. So Kel to get a super chat. There it is. We got Cat, Valar, Dimes, Justice, Julia, JJ, Jim, and Kel all getting the whole enchilada. And we got Trigger and Nightshade, Dow and Pope, Tiny in Football, Sheila Busy, Craven Bones, all splitting it. So message Kel before the end of the night if you do plan to add it, because you're going to want those grenades. So as long as you message her before the end of the stream, she will get it added for you. All right, you can see we got right there. It is 8:30 on the nose. So we got pre-match buffs in effect. I'm going to take you down to the Vatican. And let me remind y'all, this is a rematch of the Kills Cup Championship that ARC won. So this is going to be a good one. Here we go. Tonight's starting lineup is as follows. Leading off, we've got Kat in the Rover Zone. Kat will be followed by Julia. Julia's a captain in the Rover Zone. Julia followed by Zombie Deke in the DZ. You know what zombies do. Zombie Deke will be followed by Valar. Valar is the sniper. She is in the Bomber Zone. Valar followed by Crimson Tide. Crimson is tanking from the Tank Zone. And we've got Shaman Sheila. Shaman Sheila will be in... Sorry, Pope. We got Pope in the DZ. Pope will be followed by Father Ron. Father Ron is sieging, sniper, and also the captain. And Father Ron will be followed by Gemstone. Gem is sieging from the Tank Zone. Both teams have chosen to tank. Good luck to both teams. Remember, timers cannot be challenged. Let's start out with Kat. Kat, you got 20-second timer starting now. Teams should not be rusty anymore. We've been playing. So I think the rust is gone, and now the fun will begin. All right, beats the timer. Kat's going to get into Rover. That means Kat has a tire. First points of the game, Team VOX. Get that tire award. Go to the DZ, Negation Wand, Gem's Torch. And she's going to her own DZ. So you see she is right there. So no Torch Wand for Gemstone. Negation Wand will be the Air Wand off the board. Don't think they like that. Torch Wand. Boston Main Street, Rapture loaded to the wall. Sacrifice Grenade to the Sliver. And add Sliver ability. So I'm going to pump that Sliver up to 15 for Team VOX. Julia says wait. All right, I got a boss going to Main Street. That boss is going to be played in 1, cap in 3. Give Cat a seal. Pump that Sliver up to 3. And they're going to halt it 4 times. All right, 4 halts going to make it a S3 Rapture. All right, S3 Rapture. Going to take a black block and 20% of a green block. I got 80 green remaining. And let's give Kat a teardrop for her hard work and that Rapture Grenade. Nice start. All right, let's move on to Julia. Julia, leading off for Team ARC. 20-second timer. Sleet Wand, summon Red Needle to the haystack, jump in Rover to the DZ. All right, let's give Julia a tire award as well. Tires are 1-1. Go ahead and move her down to the DZ. Let's play that Sleet Wand. Going to still freeze a block. So that is a frozen one. The other is a teardrop. Red Needle to the haystack. All right, Julia playing Needle in 1. Would cap in 2. I see Northside Queen in the house. Hello. Sleet Wand, Red Needle to haystack, jump in Rover, Absorption, Seal, Sweet Tea to the Temple Fire, and MD8. All right, so Julie getting a 15-point bonus for the sweet tea because Ron says it hits. And it does put out the Temple Flame, so nice scoring move there from the assassin. And let's get the absorption. All right, real quick recap there. Sleet Wand, red needle to the haystack, gets into rover, moves to the DZ, absorption, seal, and sweet tea and mass destruction as well. All done within the timer. Let's go over to Zombie Deke. All right, Ron. Are you going to go to an area or are you going to attack? All right, going to attack. All right, so first thing, Zombie Deke is going to attack, which means boss goes to the chest. Deke playing boss in 1 would cap in 3. Goes down, gnaws on the wall. Breaks the ice block. And takes the block. So 2 blocks. So breaks the freeze and then breaks the block and also gets a boss out done within the timer as well. All right, let's go over to Valar. Valar, 20-second timer starts now. Valar does not beat the timer. All right, so does not beat the timer, does beat the nerf timer. She also played Hemlock to rebuild the green block. So we will put that back. We still got Zombie Deke there. All right, move to the sniper zone. Wicked Boss to their chest. Valar playing Wicked Boss in 1 would cap in 3, and that could be a minus 50. If that boss over there caps for the Deke. Holy Avenger to her wall with a Flourish Wand. All right, so we're going to put a little absorption right there. Somebody runs through it. Green wands are off the board. Valar moving over to the sniper zone. Remember, Holy Avenger, so no negative effects can happen to their wall. Going to steal Crimson's Needle, so no Needle for Crimson. Seal and Thrill, Maximon with Mass Destruction 8. Ron says it hits, and they're going to halt it 3 times. All right, Maximon's going to be points, so it will hit. And after we nerf it with Mass Destruction, that is going to be seven, 8 after the Thrill will make it a 5 Maximon with Mass Destruction. So we're going to go black block and a full green block. Black and a full green block, and Julie's going to play Chromica. And let's go to Crimson Tide. Crimson, 20-second timer. Got Crimson Pope, Ron, and Gemstone. Crimson beats the timer easily. She's going to get into the tank. We'll give her Cannonball for her trouble. after she gets into the tank. Going to move to the temple stairs. Going to play Blight as Needle. So even though she doesn't have a Needle, she's got a dragon. It turns into one. Crimson playing Needle in 1, cap in 2. How you like that move, Valar? That's pretty clever, wasn't it? Valar said, well, I'll just Dominar you for that. All right, so no 25 points for the Cannonball. Milo to the Watchtower. Seal. Sacrifice a Bunko and an MD8 from Crimson. All right, sacrifice the Bunko, so we get a 4th and maximum. You can only have 4 total. Points for the Milo. And let me make sure I got her Seal. And her Watchtower. All right. So we light a Watchtower. She gets the points for the Watchtower. She gets the Seal. She gets the movement. So again, tank, Cannonballs Dominaried, move to the temple stairs, plays a Needle, E3 Milo, gets the Seal, sacrifices the Bunko, all done within the timer. So nicely done there. Let's go to Pope, 20-second timer. All right, Pope going to head over to the temple steps. Both players at the temple steps. Needle to the haystack with a gold spark to cat. Pope playing Needle, and all haystacks are occupied. Needle in 1 with cap in 2. Seal and Thrill, H9 summoning grenade to the wall. Colossal Orbital if it hits. And sacrifice a Bunko with MD8. Ron's going to use the zombie prevention. So summoning grenade does not hit, therefore it does not happen. All right, temple steps, Needle, gold spark, Seal and Thrill. Big grenade shot to the wall. Orbital is not summoned, and sacrifice Bunko. So it is 4-3 with the Sliver Halos. All right, let's go to Father Ron. 20-second timer, Ron. Beats the timer. He's going to turn Pope into an engineer. No prevention for you, Pope. Ron's going to move to the sniper zone. Going to play Woodrow. Woodrow occupying that bomber area. Going to seal and absorb. Ron has a seal and an absorption. You should be able to see it. Navy to Temple Flame, and he's going to use the Sliver ability. All right, going to put out that flame, and the Sliver ability is going to pump that Sliver up to 20 points. Just a real quick recap. Make sure we got it with Ron. Pope's an engineer, moves to Sniper Zone. Woodrow drops a seal, absorption, Navy, and Sliver ability, all good. And last but not least, Gemstone. 20-second timer starts now. Gemstone beats the timer with 6 seconds to spare. She's going to jump into the tank. Let's give her a cannonball. After she gets into the tank, she's going to move to their bomber zone, which she cannot. All right, so here's what happens. Because that movement is hampered. So, Jim, that means you move as close as you can get to it, but because Woodrow's there, you stop in the no zone. So you have no credit for being in a zone this round. All right? She's going to play a seal. Goliath to Woodrow. MD8 is good. Sacrifice a Bunko, which she can. All right, and now, movement always happens first, right? So now that she's there, she throws the Goliath at Woodrow. Ron says it hits. It does kill Woodrow. So now Woodrow is not there. But Jim is not there either. All right, Mythic Gideon. So Mythic Gideon is going to be a minus 28 for VOX. And we're going to roll for Masara. Number is 9, so there'll be no effect Masara this game. And that is the end of round number 1. At the end of round number 1, we got Pope rotating into the temple. Crimson also rotating into the temple, and she got her tank. That means they're each getting a blessing. We got Julia with a halo. And we got Cat with a halo. DZ is 25-25. Strawman 0-0. Now, Julia is the sole occupant, which means she's going to give a devil horn to Valar, worth 25 points and some bonus damage. On the other side, Cat going to give angel wings to Ron. 25 points, and Ron will get bonus damage. Sliver is going to be 20 points for Team VOX, 17 for Team Arc, and each will lose one of their sliver protections. All right, let's go to round number 2. Cat, 20-second timer starts now. Colossal Kang to Main Street Boss with a pet repel. Colossal Kang could be worth 73 if it caps. Your pet repel. She is Gold Spark, so she's like, let me just throw a Trek. Smart move. And Mass Destruction 8. It hits. So Cat taking down 2 green blocks with Treks. Guaranteed. Great move for a Gold Spark. All right, let's go over to, well, before Julia's turn, we're going to cap her needle. All right, now we start the 20-second timer now that the needle has capped. Beats the timer. Julie going to play Immortal Grendel to the haystack. Put it right there. So the next Vox Needle would have to deal with that Grendel. Dust to Crimson, Gold Spark to Crimson. Crimson is in tanks. Let's Gold Sparker and then Duster to nerf her a little bit more. M7 Maximon loaded to the wall. I'm going to amp it up. Each one of these amps, you know, are worth 3 points. Or not 3 points, but 3 amps. Ron says wait on the M7 Maximon. Ron going to prevent it. So Grendel is good. Dust is good. Gold Spark's good. Ron says the Maximon ain't going to happen. We're going to prevent that. All right. Now, we go to Zombie Deeks. I don't have sound. That's the gnawing sound they do. I'll get you a Zombie Deek official sound effect once we get a little bit more into it. But Zombie Deek will light 2 watchtowers. Boom and boom. So that's watchtower number 2, watchtower number 3. All right, let's go over 2. And also, Zombie Deek will play a needle. So that Grendel is devoured by Deacon's needle. Boom, boom, boom. Needle's gone. And Grendel is gone. So that's one way to get rid of it for free with a zombie. That worked out. All right, let's go over to Valar, 20-second timer. Did not beat the timer. Valar, you 0 for 2 tonight. All right, Valar's going to play Mythic Watcher, Pet Repel, Gold Spark to Ron. Ron is minimized. Cat is back to normal size. S8 Grub loaded to the wall and amp 3. Ron says wait. All right, they're going to stop it. Now the Grub Grenade that's worth 3 points every round your sliver lives. So obviously that's pretty good. Ron says it's too good. Let's use a Mythic Dark Blue on it. So first blue of the game. Valar going to play Max Absorb so she doesn't take any of that damage. She's going to put a Mythic Watcher out there. Now that Mythic Watcher is going to go, Ron, to this watchtower, which is the next one. That is not lit. And the Mythic Watcher is going to be worth 20 points. Mythic Watcher, Pet Repel, Gold Spark, Grub Grenade with Amp. And Ron says, nope, not going to hit. All right, before Crimson's turn, we're going to cap Crimson's Needle. All right, and then we give Crimson 20-second timer. Beats the timer. Crimson can play Colossal Kang to Main Street with a Pet Repel. Colossal Kang could be worth 73. Grizzly to the wall and use the Sliver ability to pump it up to 25. Julia says it hits. All right, F4 Grizzly. And she does have round 2 in the tanks. Going to make it a S6 Grizzly. She is Gold Sparked and Dusted. So that's going to be a 75% nerf on that attack, but we will add the Mass Destruction. It's going to make it a 60% nerf. So it's going to make it an S2. Navy Grenade. S2 Navy Grenade equivalent because of the dust and the Gold Spark. 65% of a blue block. Got 35 blue remaining of the same block. She is no longer Gold Sparked, is still dusted. All right, before Pope's turn, we're going to cap the final needle that's up on the board. Arc's second needle. And 20-second timer starts now. Did not beat the timer. Did not beat the nerf timer either. All right, so did get the move in, but it was not before the nerf timer as well. So we got a nerf and also a point timer. Mythic Kang to Valar's Boss. Mythic Kang could be worth 63. Blue Spark, S8 Summoning Grenade to the wall. Cluster F ability. Amp. And a Colossal Orbital. All right. Kang is good. S8 Summoning Grenade, big attack. Cat going to prevent it, but he does get the Amp. So Amp and a Kang is what it boils down to. All right, let's go to Father Ron. 20-second timer to Ron. We got Ron and Gemstone. Ron says, let's go do a little mind, body, and soul, Valar. Ron, taking Valar into the MBS. Does she go? She says, nope, not going to go. Ron with a white flag. $200 points for the MBS. And a ruffled feather. All right, we will see Ron, because he went in round 2. We will see Ron in round 4. All right, let's go over to, they're going to glacier their wall. So, Ron, their wall is frozen. And go to Gemstone, 20-second timer. Beats timer. Gem going to move into the bomber zone. Pet repel. Needle to the haystack. Gem playing needle in 2. Would cap in 3. Milo to the watchtower and going to amp up the wall. Now, the bad news, Team Arc. That wall is no longer frozen. Last one turn. So if it wasn't hit on that turn, it melts. So the wall is not frozen. And let's give him a Milo to the watchtower. And that is the end of round number 2. Captains, give me your subs. Pope with a blessing. Crimson with a blessing. Strawman 0-0. DZ still looking like 25-25. I got Julia with a halo. I got Cat with a halo. Both teams losing a sliver blessing. Julia getting a second devil horn for Valar. Cat getting a second angel wing for Father Ron. We got Trigger coming in for the Deke, who ran out of Beach Nut. Trigger going over to the DZ. We got Shaman coming in for the Pope. All right. Looks like we're ready to kick off round number 3. Before we do, We're going to cap Cat's Boss. We're also going to cap 146 points in Kang's. And we're going to go to Cat. 20-second timer. Cat starts now. Does not beat the timer. Does not beat the nerf timer. Does beat the 25-point timer. Cyborg Fly, Sheila and Julia. Stasis to Julia, Dust to Julia. All right. Shaman is going to eclipse Julia. And what's the second part of that? Give me the rest of the move. Immortal Blue. All right. So Cyborg Fly to Sheila and Julia. So what'll happen is Julia disappears. So when she disappears, Shaman does not. Shaman gets moved over into the no zone. Stasis will fizzle. Dust will fizzle. S6 Summoning Grenade is Immortal Blue, and there is an Amplify. All right, so Immortal Blue is going to hit Cat and Breaker Seal. So out of all this type there, the only thing that happens is the Amplify. Sheila gets Cyborg moved. And they use an Immortal Blue, which breaks Cat's seal. All right. Let's go to Julia, 20-second timer. Beats the timer. Julia going to go Cyborg Slim. So Slim should be no lingering smokes, and healing effects are half. Falls to Main Street. Julia playing boss in 3 would cap in 5. Seal and Thrill. Which she is still sealed, so that might fizzle. I'll leave it off. Eclipse does not take buffs, unlike Sly Shaw, but you can't play it on yourself. Trigger going to Judas it to their wall, and she's going to play Aura. All right, Julia does have her Aura ability. If she takes damage, she'll remove one of her blocks. And sacrifice Bunko. Shaman going to prevent it. All right, Slim is good. Boss is good. Seal and Thrill. S6 Maximon loaded. They redirect it. After the redirection, Shaman prevents it. All right. Welcome to the game, Trigger. 20-second timer. But hold up, before Trigger's turn, let's cap the Deeks boss. Second flag. For Team VOX. 2 flags to 0. Trigger already on top of it. Trigger going to play Dark Boss to their chest. Trigger Dark Boss in 3 would cap in 5. Oxygen Wand. We'll take out Nirvana Wands. All right, 2 things, okay? I'm gonna back up 1 move. Julia played a Thrill and Seal. Now let me explain this, okay? Julia should have been victim of elevation. So, she should have lost that seal because of elevation. But she played Thrill and Seal, so she would have gotten a new one. Cat loses her pet repel. And Trigger's playing the Oxygen Wand. Trigger, you cannot play the Oxygen Wand because you do not have a valid target. No one on your team is lacking health, so Oxygen Nirvana Wands are still in play. So either team can play that. All right, Dark Boss dropping a seal. Max Spark Gem. Should be 1. It'll slow her. Steel Valar's Needle. Rage St. Elmo to the Watchtower with Sliver ability. Let's pump that Sliver up to 30. And last round, Vox got 25 for Sliver. Art got 17. I don't know if I called it out, but it's logged. And let's put that Milo to the Watchtower. Give him points for the Milo and light up Watchtower number 4. Wait a minute. Actually, we won't light it because there is a Mythic Watcher. So, Milo fizzles, but the Watchtower's not lit because they didn't pay for the Watcher. She just played regular Rage, and she didn't pump it. Okay, Dark Boss is good. No Oxygen Wand. They get a Seal. They max Spark Gem. Still Valar's Needle. The Rage is not enough, but they do get the points for the Milo, and she does get the Sliver ability. All right, let's go over to Valar. And before Valar's turn, we're going to cap a 63-point Kang. And we're going to cap the first flag of the night for Team Arc. And we'll give Valar a 20-second timer. Beats the timer this time. Congratulations, Valar. You're going to go Colossal Kang to Main Street Boss. Could be worth 73. S6 Grub to the wall, and Valar's going to play Aura. Remember, Aura locks in first. It's your ability. So Valar has Aura. She's also got a Seal. And she's also got a Pet Repel. Ron says, wait. Hits any target. She could get a +3 for the remainder of the game. Crimson going to prevent it. So it does not hit. Crimson with the prevention. So Colossal Kang is good. Aura is good. And that's all we got. All right, we got Crimson's prevention in. And Crimson is up next. So let's go to Crimson with a 20-second timer. Crimson Shaman and then Gem, because we skip Ron. All right, Crimson is going to, she beats the timer easily. She's going to play Immortal Grendel. The next Needle, played by Arc, will be eaten. Max Seal to Cat, Maximon to the wall, and Amp 3. Pump up the wall. Let's give the Max Seal over to Cat. Gold Blue from Julia. All right, so she had Dust Smoke, but it would have been equivalent to an S8. So Julia playing Gold Blue. And the gold from the Gold Blue would break Crimson's Seal. So Grendel's good. Max Seal to Cat. S6 Maximon with an Amp 3. Julia with Gold Blue. And that would be a Seal breaker for Crimson. All right, let's go to the Shaman. 20-second timer, Shaman. Shaman and Gem back to back. Beats the timer, 2 seconds to spare. Going to Banish Wand, which, because the Oxygen Wand wasn't played, Banish Wand does work. It is a Nirvana Wand. Needle to the Haystack. All right, Shaman playing Needle. It gets devoured by Crimson's Grendel off the board. So it did serve its purpose. There are no Grendels currently on the board because that one just got a full belly. Gold Spark to Cat with a Seal and Thrill. Minimize Cat. Shaman with a Seal and Thrill from the No Zone. Remember, she has pick and stick, so she can't move. S8 Grizzly to the Main Street Boss with MD8 and Sacrifice Bungo. All right. Not sure why you're throwing a grenade at your own boss. So it will hit the ground in front of Julia's boss. So it doesn't damage Julia's boss because it's not valid, but it does hit right in front. No, you can't redirect. It hits the ground. So Banish Wand, Needle to the Haystack, Spark, Seal and Thrill, S8 Grizzly loaded to the wall, or to the ground. MD8, which puts it up to 40. And Sacrifice Bunko. Now, it can be Judas to the wall. All right, Ron, they are going to redirect that grenade that's on the ground to their own wall. I guess with Jim's Judas. So it is going to be an S9 Grizzly with MD40. And we'll sacrifice the Bunko. Pump that up to 4 sliver rings. Yes, it is a legal play. You can Judas. You can Judas your own grenade. It has been done. You don't usually like to because it's a waste of a legend, but yes, it is a legal redirect. All right, they're going to go double gold sonar. So can we get that legendary typed out? Arc. All right, so double gold sonar. And that will take care of the mass destruction. So it is still Sheila throwing the grenade and redirecting her own grenade. So it's going to be an S9 Grizzly equivalent. Because the 2 sonars will take care of the mass destruction. With Amplify. Green block, blue block, and 50% of a blue block. 50 blue remaining. All right, let's go to Gemstone. Final move of round 3, 20-second timer. Didn't beat the timer. All right. We've got move to the DZ, boss to their chest, vines to cat. She can move to their DZ because she only has the slow. Binds to Cat. Gas Blast to Cat. Ron says wait. And because Ron locked in wait, that is a regular boss. It is not a dark boss, Jim. You own both, and Ron locked it in. So boss to their chest. Played in 3 would cap in 5. Jim playing Aura. And a gold blue from Cat. Movement's good. Boss is good. Vines is good. Breaks her seal. And the Gas Blast is going to be gold blue, which means it will break Jim's seal and deal no damage to her. Which means Aura will not trigger. Yet. All right, that's the end of round number 3. At the end of round number 3, we've got Crimson with a Temple Blessing. Strawman 0-0. DZ is going to be 25 for Arc, 0 for Vox. Jim neutralized, but Trigger and Cat are both there. Julia with a 3rd halo. Jim with her 1st halo. Cat with her 3rd, and Trigger with 1. There are no more horns or wings to give out, so solo occupying makes no difference except for the fact you get points for it in the DZ. Let's go over to the halos. All right, so let me, Julia, before you challenge that, let me kind of explain something when those are really slow. And everybody, both teams need to know this. So I'm scrolling back and forth between a map and YouTube. So when we get to max absorbs and I'm doing the end of the round stuff, I don't see it. So when I've already moved on, you guys got to get those in quickly. So she had opportunity to get the max absorb in, and this goes for all players. So if you're going to max absorb, you got to do it before I end the round or I start tallying. So there's no max absorb, the seal is gone. All right? Okay, back to the score. Because I got to keep the game going. We've got limited time. And if I go back and forth on those things, we just waste valuable time. All right, so let's get to the slivers. We're going to remove one of the sliver blessings. We're going to remove one of each from each team. Arc, 17 points for their sliver blessing. Vox, 30 points. All right, we should be good to go. And round number 4 kicks off right now. Let's go to Cat. 20-second timer starts right now. Beats the timer. So Cat's going to play Minion to Julia. Put him right there between your absorption and the flourish absorption. It's nobody's ran through yet. So no scoring pets for Julia while Minion is out. Max seal over to Crimson. E3 Trex loaded. And a aura as well from Cat. Interesting to see the auras start to add up. Julia hits her weight. All right, hits. So Trex, we're going to take down another 2 blocks from Cat. Blue block and a blue block. She is no longer gold sparked. So again, using that workaround. All right, let's go over to Julia. 20-second timer, Julia. All right, beats the timer. She's going to Euclid Trigger. Trigger is a boss. Ouch, Trigger. Going to play Stonehenge. Going to put 2 absorptions on the enemy wall. Max seal over to Jim. All right, so Ron, you got an absorption here, which will slow down the damage. And you got one there. That's what Stonehenge does. Unforgiven to the wall, and Sliver ability to pump the arc sliver up to 22. Ron hits her weight. All right, does hit. We do have a delay game warning for Team VOX. No point penalty this time, but if they have another delay, it will be a point penalty. Yep, no worries. That's why you get one free one. So it does hit. S8 Unforgiven. With Mass Destruction. Blue block. Up. Wrong blue block. Let's go to the right team. So it's 50% of a blue block. Takes down the blue block, and we get 25% of the red. So not quite 2 blocks because it's down in the red, but 75 red is remaining. So you got 3.75 on the arc side. All right, we go to Trigger. We skip Trigger. So Trigger, you do beat the timer. That's the good news. All right, let's go over to Valar. Valar, 20-second timer for you. Starts right now. All right, we got Immortal Grendel from Valar. All right, putting that Grendel out there, which means the next one from VOX will be Devoured. Arc Spark, F5 Unforgiven to the wall and sacrifice Bunko. Yep. And playing a Sliver ability to pump it up to 27. Trigger is not. She would not be back to normal until her next turn. It is 1 full round. All right, sacrifice Bunko to pump it up to 4. F5 Unforgiven, and she is in a tank. She is not in a tank. Sorry, that's my bad. Pilar's not in a tank, but she does have 2 devil horns. Okay? Jim's got the tank. Going to add Intaglio to it. 5, 6, 7 plus the bonus damage. Plus mass destruction. It's a good hit. 3/4 of red block. Red block. Red block. And 25% of a red block. 75 red remaining. But she does get a 3-block shot with her damage, Intaglio, and the modifiers. But not quite enough to get the wall down. All right, let's go over to Crimson. Dust Smoke, but she is in the tank. 20-second timer, Crimson. Crimson with the Quake Shake. Close off the other side of that. Mythic Gideon. Going to Dragon Smoke, because Jim was there last round. So that will relight the stone. Grizzly to the wall. And Aura. Love to see you guys play on your auras finally. Love it. All right, we've got Quake is good. Close off the second side of the temple. Mythic Gideon is good. Julia going to intervene the grenade, and Dragon Smoke and Aura are both good as well. All right, let's go over to the Insane Shaman, Sheila. 20-second timer starts now. Beats the timer. Sheila going to drop a Gideon on Jim's boss. She's like, I got it right this time. I mean, she's going to drop a Kang. Sorry, I didn't get it right. It says you're going to drop a Gideon on there. Can't do that. Mythic Kang to Jim's boss. Could be worth 63 if it caps. Blue Spark, Super Thrill, H9 Grizzly loaded to the wall and amp it up. All right, Ron. This is what we call overkill. Certainly a lot of grenade, a lot of heat, a lot of stuff for 3/4 of a block. Hits or wait. It hits. Probably a wise choice to let that one hit because, you know, it was juiced up. All right, first wall for either team is off the board. Shaman Sheila with a gold bar. Arc on the board. Crimson going to play Chromica. All right, welcome back to the game, Ron. Ron is officially out of the portal. Back on the field. Ron, 20-second timer starts right now. Ron moving out, back to the sniper zone. Colossal Wicked Kang. To the side chest. Sorry, Sheila, he's going to put that back in your hand. Ouch. So, no Kang for Shaman. Ron playing a Colossal of his own. That's a crazy deadly item, isn't it? That Wicked Kang is wicked. Worth 73 if it caps. Drop Fear Smoke for Valar. Milo to the Watchtower, sacrifice Bunko. All right, Ron's back in the sniper zone. Plays his Wicked, bounces Shaman's back. Fear Smoke is good. Milo to the Watchtower is good. MD8 is good. And the sacrifice is good. So he did pay the price. For the Milo. So it's like Watchtower number 4 and give him the points for the Milo. Well played. All right, final move of the first half. Gemstone, 20-second timer. Beats the timer. Jim's going to head down to their tank zone. Mythic Kang to her boss. Milo to the Watchtower. And Plague Ron. All right, Mythic Kang could be worth 63 for Jim. Let's give her the points for the Milo. We'll light the Watchtower. And Plague on Ron. No smokes, no potions on his next turn. And we're at halftime. Great first half, everybody. Good action, good fun. Captains, give me your second round subs. Couple things are going to happen here. Crimson, no more lingering smoke. Dust smoke is gone. But you also lose your tank because it's halftime. Cat, you lose yours too. Auras stay, by the way. Auras stay. Julia, losing your seal and also losing your rover. Julia with a 4th halo. Cat with a 4th halo. Trigger, 2nd halo. Crimson Tide, 4th blessing. At the end of the round, I got Art, 27 points. VOX, 30 points for their slivers. Strawman 0-0. And DZ 25-25. Dr. Die for Trigger, Nightshade in the Ozone. Get all these amplifies and everything where they need to go. Shaman heading out. Good job. Minion is gone. Halftime. All right, we got subs for Arc. Looks like we've got Dow for Shaman, Busy Bee in the Ozone. Each team getting a sentry gun. All right, order is as follows. It's going to be Kat, Julia, Doc, Valar, Crimson, Dow, Ron, Jim, Nightshade, and Busy Bee. We got all buffs in there. So, looks like Needle is up there. Is Gemstone's Needle. That did cap. So Needles should be 3-1 Arc. All right, let's go to Kat. Kat, 20-second timer starts right now. There is I'm going to dim one more of those Dragon Stones. The Bomber and the DZ were both dimmed. Cat beats the timer. And Crimson played the Dragon Smoke to light one of them. All right, move to our DZ. It's a pretty easy move there. Gold Orbital to the wall. If that wall caps, Gold Orbital could be worth 19. She does play the Dragon Smoke. Thank you for that. Which means both of those are now lit up. Max Spark to Jim. She is not slowed because she's already been slowed, but a second one would obviously stun her. Gin Grenade to the Watchtower and Sap Valar. Question is Sap... Sap is not a valid ability. Sap cycled out with the last piece of gear. So you can play a different ability because that's not a legal one. And the Gin Grenade lights the Watchtower. Tell me where you want to deal that 10%. Lighting Watchtower number 5. All right. Who are you going to plague? All right, I'm assuming Valar. All right, Valar, you were targeted. Yeah, it does have to target Valar. Valar, you're now plagued. No smokes, no potions for you this round. And tell me where you're going to send the 10% damage. To Valar as well. Valar, you're at 90%. All right, Julia. At the start of your turn, we're going to cap a 73-point Kang. And we're going to cap Main Street, which means flags are going to be tied at 2-2. And we're going to give you a 20-second timer. Beats the timer. And Temple is available. And only one person can occupy it this round until next turn. So Crimson played to Quake. And that is the only side that is currently open. Julia's sneaking in there and capitalizing. Summon Mythic Nolan. Snowstorm loaded to the wall and Plague Dr. Die. Dr. Die, welcome to the game. How about no smokes and no potions? All right, F5 Snowstorm. This wall's a little stronger. But it does have Amplify, a lot of Amplify, and a lot of Mass Destruction. 40. Black block. %50 of a green block. But it does give the snowstorm effect, which means it freezes that blue block, Ron. So one's frozen and one's a teardrop. Dow going to evoke it 2 times. which will take that green block out of play, and 50% of the next green block. All right, double evoke. All right, then go back and stop it. They just finished the wall, so there was no damage, and Julia called that out. So, all right, what do you want to do to the wall, Ron? All right, intervene from Nightshade. Dal, remove the evoke. All right, intervene. Move to Temple. Nolan, heal and seal. Snowstorm is stopped. Rebuild it back to the black. No invoke was used. And if you could do me a favor before I go through that whole thing, just let me know. Because I feel like I left the block off, but you probably could have challenged that a little bit early because Julia just did. It'll save us a little bit of time. All right, let's go over to Dr. Die. Dr. Die, at the start of your turn, before you go, we are going to cap Trigger's boss. And we're capped at 73 points, which gives VOX a total of 3 bosses. All right, Doc, 20-second timer. Not beat the timer. Did not beat the nerf timer. Do we have Doc? All right. We got Dr. Die there. DZ Portal. She is plagued. Max Spark Jim. Jim is going to be stuck in place. Grizz. To the Nolan. Sacrifice of Bunko. Julie, you got a Grizzly Grenade going to your Nolan. Hits her weight. Sacrifice Bunko. Let's load it back up. It hits. Nolan is dead. Portal's good. Max Spark is good. Grizzly Grenade is good. Going to play Sliver ability. Pump that Sliver up to 35. It's a dead Mythic Nolan. It's a Grizzly Grenade. With Mass Destruction. It's dead. Deader than hell. Gone. Hasta la vista. All right, let's go over to Villar. 20-second timer, Villar. Villar going to move back into the sniper zone. Thraxus. Villar with a Mythic Nolan. Blackout Wand. No DZ points this round, no halos. Rage Tonic, Trex Grenade, and a Plague to Crimson. All right, so Dr. Die was 1 Plague. Ron is plagued. Crimson is plagued. No smokes, no potions. And the Trex Grenade hits the wall, which is going to take out 2 of the blocks. All right, let's go over to Crimson. No smokes, no potions. 20-second timer, Crimson. Got Crimson, and then we got Dow. Not beat the timer. Did not beat the nerf timer. All right, she's going to move to the temple stairs. Going to send Plague over to Jim. No smokes, no potions. For Jim. Skull to Dow. Grizzly to the wall. Rage Tonic. It hits. All right, Skull to Dow. Dow he just came into the game, so he has a gear absorption. Scold is not going to hit, but Crimson does get an absorption for playing Scold. Remember, he just came into the game. Grizzly to the wall with Rage Tonic. It is going to slow it down because of the absorption. The absorption is gone. That's an extra 20%, and that blue block that's remaining up there, Crimson, after mass destruction, you get 75% of the blue block, but that's 30% of a block, so that block is gone, and the teardrop is going to take out the next block. So that block's off the board. The Rapture Grenade is gone, and let's take the red block off the board. So 3 blocks remaining for Team VOX. Let's go over to Dow, 20-second timer. Summon Red Nolan for Dow. All right, Red Nolan in the DZ. Bunko to Dr. Die and the wall. What is MSD? Summon Nolan I got. E8 Bunko to Die in the wall. Is that mass destruction? All right. So Dr. Die is taking a little bit of damage. And the wall's taking a little bit of damage because it's a Bunko. Torment to Nightshade. So Dr. Die, I got you at 88% health. We're going to take a green block after mass destruction. It's good juice on it, but it is still a Bunko. Green block off the board. Max Spark to Nightshade. And he's going to sacrifice a Bunko to his own sliver. All right, let's go to Father Ron, who is plagued. Ron. No smokes, no potions, 20 seconds. Does not beat the timer. Ron's going to move to the sniper zone. Are you really asking me who plagued you? You're asking me to scroll up. Come on, Ron, scroll up. Stay with us. I got a lot more on my plate than you do, brother. I just know you were plagued. That's why I put the little icon down there. All right. We got Ron, move to sniper zone, Mythic Gideon, Goliath to the wall, and pet score. All right, Mythic Gideon with the pet score. Is going to make that good to have pet score back, right? With that 10. Plus he's doubled up, which will be 20. So that is a minus 48 Mythic Gideon. Good to have those back. All right, and then Goliath to the wall. They said it hits. Now, it has no juice on it, but he's got angel wings, so he does beef it up, and he has mass destruction. So, Ron, even without juice, you're still taking out a red block. Pretty impressive with the angel wings. 2 blocks remaining. No, negative effects don't. Lingering smokes do. Plagues an ability. 20-second timer. Gemstone, you can't move, but you do get a move. Just like you play Hinder. Hinder doesn't go away at halftime either, right? Beats the timer. Max Spark to Nightshade. Nightshade cannot move. Not even a little bit. Rage Tonic, Gold Nolan. All right. Now, before we do anything to that, it does have to be redirected. She does not have range on the wall. So Max Spark is good. Rage Tonic, Gold Nolan. All right. We need to back all this up. Because, one, she can't play the S8. I think that was originally in there and it should have been deleted. But she did play the Rage Tonic, so there is no S8. So this is a Rage Tonic Unforgiven from Drake that cannot hit the wall. So, Jim, you need to pick a new target. And Ron, it's just a Rage Unforgiven, whatever she picks the new target, with mass destruction. And she does get the Sliver ability, which pumps it up to 32. All right, going to redirect it to Dr. Die. Okay, so Ron, you got a Rage Unforgiven with mass destruction 48, which will make it a Raged Spade Grenade. And there is no delay of game since it was a redirect. So hits or wait. All right, does hit. All right, Dr. Die, you are taking some more damage, though. You were at 88. You're down to 71%. Because it was from a Drake rocket launcher as well. She's going to intalio that. Ooh, all right. She's adding extra juice to it, Diana. You're down to 59%. And they're going to double evoke it. Diana, you are down to 42% health. Now, Diana is going to evoke it. You guys crack me up. So she going to nerf it back. Diana, you are back to 59% health. All right. We have grenaded, intalioed, double invoked, double evoked. And at the end of all of that, Diana is sitting at 59% of her health. Fun times. All right, let's go over to Nightshade. And before we get to Nightshade, we did cap Jim's boss. We got a 63-point Kang. And flags are now 3-3. All right, Nightshade, 20-second timer starts now. Beats the timer. All right, I think that is Valar's Grendel. Am I correct? The last Grendel that I have is Valar. All right, so Valar's Grendel is going to devour Nightshade's Needle. So no needle to the haystack. Does play a seal. Gold Spark Julia. Rage Tonic Maximon to the wall, Sliver Ability, and Sacrifice of Bunko. Julia says it hits. Give him the points for the Maximon. Maximon with their mass destruction. Loaded to the wall. Take out a red block. One red block remaining. It is nerfed with an absorption as well. All right, final move this round, Busy Bee. 20-second timer before we go to Dragonstorm. Busy Bee is going to jump into turret. Turn to a priestess. Summon. Oh, she's summoning Rocky. Immortal Rocky. Make sure you can see him. He is a flying Nolan. Tormented Dr. Die. Summoning Grenade to the wall. Summon Mythic Orbital if it hits. And Mass Destruction 8. Puts him up to 56 Ron. So she's in a turret. She's a priestess. Summon Immortal Rocky. Torment. And a Summoning Grenade to the wall. Ron says, wait. Gold blue from Ron. Second blue of the game. Gold hits busy. And breaks her gear absorption. That is the end of round number 5. At the end of round number 5. Arc with a blessing. Strawman, 0-0. Blackout, nothing from anybody. So DZ is 0-0. No halos. Who played them? Ron, what do you guys have? I do have Crimson's Mythic Blue. Ron, do you have Cat playing blue? Okay, that is the third then. All right, that is the third and final blue for Team VOX. Good challenge. Slivers, I got 32 for Arc. 35 for VOX. All right, both teams qualify for Dragon Storm. Let's spin the wheel. Or roll the dice. Let's roll the dice. Ain't gonna let me roll the dice. One of these nights. There we go. All right. It is a 1. All that work for a 1. Great. All right, here we go. Final round, everybody. Buckle up. You see a lot of things on the board, a lot of bonuses, a lot of buffs. Cat, 20-second timer. Starts right now. From the DZ. Gonna Talon Crimson to the temple, which she can. Gold Spark Villard, Dust to Julia. Bunko to Villar's Nolan, then to Dow's Nolan. All right. Julia, which one are you going to prevent? Remember, Bunko splits, like Trixie. All right. Going to prevent it to Villar's Nolan. Dow's Nolan is dead. All right, Talon is good. Gold Spark Villard, Dust to Julia. And they're going to mute one of those amplifies. They have a lot more, but they muted them. All right, let's go over to Julia, 20-second timer. Jin Shi, Wicked Gideon, Torment Crimson. Blue Spark, H9, Maximum onto the wall with Zulu, Pet Score. It hits. All right, Wicked Gideon will back out. Ron's Gideon. I guess that's payback for the Kang, Ron. For the Wicked Kang. Julia is dust smoked. 9, 10, 11, 12. So equivalent to an S9 spade grenade after mass destruction. As I said, this wall is a little bit stronger. Blue block, and 50% of a blue block. $50 blue remaining. Dr. Dye, you are tormented. 20-second timer. All right, Dr. Die with the Mythic Gideon. All right. If you peel the Torment, there is no smoke available. So, because the peel's a half turn, Mythic Gideon is fine. No heal and seal. The potion is a product of the grenade. So the Milo is going to light Watchtower number 6. Gideon is good with pet score. Milo is good. And no heal and seal. Let's go over to Villar and Nolan. 20-second timer, Villar. Mortal Gideon is good. It is a scoring pet, so it is legal. I'm assuming it is Colossal Gideon, though. Villar. Colossal Gideon. Tormentoron. Nightshade's going to pawn up the Torment. Diametic Page to Nolan. H9 Unforgiven. All right, we shall calculate. All right, Villar's damage first with Mass Destruction and Amp. Finish off the blue, red block, 50% of a red. Nolan, rest of the red, and a red block. Dr. Die takes that damage to herself, taking Dr. Die from 59% down to 28% health. She medicked half of it to herself. All right, so we got Colossal Gideon. We got the Torment. We got the Blue Spark. We got all the buffs, all the modifiers, and added the Bounty Bear and the pet score. Arc breaking out the Nolan game. We have not seen that in a while. Pretty shocking to get all those Nolans at one time. Crazy move. Never know with Arc what you're going to get. Let's go over to Crimson. 20-second timer, Crimson. You are tormented. All right, Crimson, Peel Torment. Myers to Dow, Blue Spark, H9 Unforgiven to the wall. Julia says, wait. While we're waiting, Ron also got 5 rounds in the sniper last round. So Ron did get the sniper zone, and Ron also got a bronze star. I just didn't put it on. There you go, Ron. There's your bronze star. All right, going to prevent Myers to Dow. Julia does the grenade hit. I'm assuming yes, because it got Dominari'd. All right. They do get the orbital points. Crimson finishes down the wall. She would have gotten a gold bar, but it was Dominari'd. But VOX does get the wall down. Let's reset it. All right, let's go over to Dow from the DZ. 20-second timer, Dow. Did not beat the timer. I was late calling it, but he did not beat it. Vines to die, Immortal Stern to die, H9 Unforgiven to die, Blue Spark. Oh. Doctor dies at 28% health. Vines takes her down to 18. Stern will get the killing blow. Dow finishing off the doctor. And getting the KB and the ruffled feather. No, he's in the DZ hitting you. All right, Ron, do we have a sub for the doctor? All right, going to put in the zombie Deke. All right, let's go over to Ron. 20-second timer, Father Ron. Ancient. Skull to Dow. Sickness to Jim. H9 Unforgiven to Rocky. And Mute. All done within the timer. All right, Mortal Blue from Dow. Max Absorb. Sickness Smoke over to Jim. So Jim, under the Sickness Smoke, cannot be awarded PCP. Award points. Skull to Dow is going to light the Watchtower. Number 7. And gave Ron a second absorption. And the Immortal Blue stops Rocky, and Ron plays Max Absorb. All right, let's go to Gemstone. 20-second timer, Jim. Beats the timer. Gold Nolan and Jim. Super Thrill H9 Unforgiven with a Shatter. Ron says it hits. All right, let's give Jim a gold bar. Rebuild the wall. And Nolan. Black block and a green block. And that is where we leave it. So close to finishing. We had 2 more moves to go. It's bogged down a little bit in 5. But that's where we leave it, everybody. So we will not wind down the final attack. It does. It does, Ron. Good call. So no gold bar for Gemstone. Because she's under the effect of sickness. Well played. All right, good job, everybody. We got no halos to give at the end. The only thing we have to do is count down what we already have. So we're going to count down 3 blocks for Arc. We're going to count down 4 for VOX. And everything else is just the math. I'll be back in 5 minutes, and I'll let you know how everybody did. Some people had bosses. Some people had watchtowers. Didn't quite get the full gist of everything. A slight miss with some of the movement. Dow with a little okey-doke move at the end, getting a killing blow. So We'll do the math. We'll figure it out. We'll be right back. All right, everybody, we are back. Had to do a little math check on some stuff because this game was down to the wire. There were a few moves that certainly turned the game in a couple different directions. So we'll start out. Vox and Arc. Start out with flags. Flags were even, Steven. Big critical error in round number 3. Maybe part error, maybe part good move. But Cat went for the stasis move, and that was huge because Shaman eclipsed Julia, and the stasis never happened, and that gave up Main Street. So that allowed Arc to get that flag, but ended up being tied 600-600. Go to walls. Arc doing what they do with walls. Kind of expected. They find a way to get a wall lead. Not that Vox didn't have a plan for it, because they did. They did something else. But the walls were Arc 675, Vox 350. Little bit over a wall advantage. So how are they going to make that up? Well, Ron got the mind, body, and soul. A little tricky maneuver there to get the MBS. That was 200 points. And that looked like that was going to hold true. But then at the very end of the game, Dow got a killing blow. So that counterbalanced the mind, body, and soul. They kind of slept on Dr. Die. I mean, you got a player coming in. You got to protect them. Didn't have a seal. Took all that damage. Went with the, diverted some of the points to herself. Next thing you know, Dow flipped the script. Kang game. We had Vox 219, Arc 199. So Vox strong with the Kang game. But Needles, Arc made it up. 300 points in Needles. Vox with 100 points in Needles. There's a 200-point advantage. But what did Vox do to counterbalance that? They got the Watchtower, 175 to 50. DZ, Arc 100, Vox 75. Timers were even. So overall, you got Arc with a pretty strong lead there, about 400 points. But we got to the PCP points. PCP points, Vox was pretty strong with PCP points. I mean, they had a white flag. They had a feather. They had a couple things that got Dominari'd, but they had a couple Angel Wings. Ron got the Sniper Zone. Valar got feared out of the Sniper Zone, so that was a slight advantage. Ron got the Bronze Star, and the PCP DZ was split. So overall, we had Team Vox with 275, Arc with 225. So then we get down to the extras. Well, the extras, you think Arc would have a strong extra game? Not so fast. Vox, listen to these slivers, 20, 25, 30, 30, 35. Over the other side, 17, 17, 17, 27, 32. Big advantage for Vox and slivers. We did have the Wicked Boss, Colossal Gideon, and a Mythic Gideon. But they had a Dark Boss, a Chromica, a Gold Orbital, 4 Milos. They had a Maximon for deductions. Overall, even with the points that Arc was taking off, Vox had a positive 133. That's pretty nice. Over on the other side, as I said, we got the slivers, a couple of Milos for Team Arc. We had Mythic Watcher, Chromica. So Arc with a total of 200 points for, 66 against, gave them a positive 134. So they were almost even. Final score tonight, and it did go down to the wire, as I said, but that killing blow at the end and not getting the flag was the difference in the game. Arc, 2439, Vox, 2087. Less than a 400-point win by Team Arc, and those mistakes loomed awfully large, not being able to control the flag game at home. But a good game, good game. We saw some different stuff. I was excited about it. So thank you, guys. I got good news for everybody. Don't leave just yet. We are going to cancel fish fights tonight or Thursday night. I thought it was 12 o'clock already. Enjoy the time off. Enjoy watching the football draft. Relax, everybody. We'll be back with Quest. So no fishing Thursday night. And if you're a football fan, hopefully you root for your team. Have a good time. And we'll see you all on Friday. Thanks again, everybody. Great match. Worthy of the hype. And I'm sure both teams are going to walk away from it thinking there's a couple things they could do a little bit better. Have a good night, everybody. See you soon. Peace.